Everybody, welcome. This is likely our first video together. So today we are going to be taking a look at a little opener to kind of get our brains warmed up, and then you're going to do some practice. So this is Mrs. Fry, by the way, if you're like, whose voice is this? And I'm excited to help you through this today. Sorry I can't be there in person. So at any rate, you should have your notes packet out, and I believe that we are on page 11. It definitely says this at the top. It says opener, solving linear equations. So super important thing that I want to tell you about videos in general. So math videos. All right, so you're watching a video and you're going to learn some math while you watch it. I know, probably not how you normally spend your time on YouTube, but anyway, keep in mind, whenever you're watching a video where math is happening, it is a really good idea to pause the video, especially if you are somebody who, likes to try things out on their own. But even if you aren't, you should pause the video before a problem starts and try that problem out on your own. If nothing else, if you don't write anything down, at least think about the problem. More importantly, though, whenever I ask you to pause, there's a reason for that. I want you to pause and I want you to try it out, because even if you try the problem and do it to some extent incorrectly, you're going to learn something about yourself and you're going to understand how you solve problems. And the more you understand yourself and understand maybe the types of mistakes you tend to make, the less you'll actually make them, because you'll begin to go, oh, wait, every time this happens, I'm supposed to do this. So with that in mind, at the top of this opener, and in addition to the pause feature, remember that you can rewind. Some people don't like watching videos to learn math, and I get it. Like, we all like to learn in different ways, right? But you can't pause me or rewind me in class, but you can today. So do that. Rewind. That allows you to rehear information or see the process again. And that's a win, right? The more we do things, the more we see things, the more we know them, remember them, and understand them. Okay, so without further ado, I'm going to tell you to practice that exact thing I was just talking about. So before I explain how to do these two problems, pause the video right now and try them. At least think about how you might try to solve each of these problems. All right, okay, welcome back. Hopefully you really did pause as I suggested. Now, there are, for this first problem on the left, for sure, tons of ways to do this problem. I am just going to give you one route to take, but there are lots of variations on this. So if it's me approaching this problem, I'm going to notice there's an equal sign. So I have some things on the left, some things on the right. The first thing I'm going to do is distribute the 6x that's on the left and the -3 that's on the right, okay? And notice I'm only distributing the -3 to the terms inside the parentheses, nothing else. All right. Now, the next thing I like to do is clean up anything that goes together. So like these two terms right here, this -3 and this +3, I am going to add them together, and it turns out they add up to 0. So now I have 6x minus 12 equals -3x. The next thing I like to do is I like to get all the stuff that's a variable on one side and all the things that are numbers on another side. So in this situation, I'm going to have to subtract 6x so that all the x's, which would be -9x's, are on the right side and -12 is on the left. Okay, so this might look a little squished, so I'm just going to rewrite it. We have -12 equals -9x, and then I'm going to divide by the -9 on both sides. So I get that 12/9, both of those numbers are divisible by 3. So that's really 4/3 equals x. Okay, so that's what I got. And then we've got the problem on, so take a moment, check your work, see if you agree with my work. And if you don't for some reason, double check Double check my math. Double check your math, okay? And then we're going to move on to the next one. So on the right-hand side, we have a problem with two fractions, okay? So the only way to deal with these problems, and I'm going to rewrite it, and there's a reason why. The only real way to handle fractions is with a common denominator, okay? So here's what's going to happen. I'm going to multiply the right side by 2x plus 3, and top and bottom, okay? And I'm going to multiply the left-hand side by x minus 2. All right, so now I have 8 times x minus 2 over x minus 2 times 2x plus 3, those two quantities. And then I have 5 times 2x plus 3 over x minus 2 and 2x plus 3. These things, these are called common denominators, okay? And they're called common denominators because they have the same factors. They're identical, okay? And when that happens, you can set their numerators, so the tops, equal to each other. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to set the 8 times x minus 2 equal to the 5 times 2x plus 3. If you're like, why is that true? Here's the deal. This thing in this orange box on the left has to be equal to the thing on the right that I'm putting in this purple box. If their denominators are already the same, the things that look different at the moment are really just the numerators. So those are the things we have to figure out, well, what number would make them equal? So that's where we can focus our attention, okay? From here, similar to the previous problem, I'm going to distribute the 8x, or the 8 to the x and the negative 2. And I'm going to distribute the 5 to the 2x and the 3. And I'm going to get all my variables on one side. So I'm going to subtract 8x from both sides. And I'm going to get all my numbers on the other side. So I'm going to get negative 31 equals 2x. And so I'm going to write it over here. X is going to equal negative 31 over 2. All right. Hopefully you're feeling pretty good about that. All right. Now, if there's anything that I just said that you didn't know about solving some sort of algebraic problem, then you should use this space below to take some notes about the process. Okay? I used some vocab up here. Adding something to both sides, right? Using division to undo multiplication, etc. Use this space to write down that process, okay? Now, I'm going to ask you to do the same thing with, this is in here so that I don't forget to tell you. Remember to bring your supplies. If you've already got a graphing calculator and a pencil every day in class and some sort of thing to highlight or, annotate your work and some sort of notebook or binder, yay, you rock. If not, it's not that you don't rock. It's that you just need to get those supplies ASAP, if you could please. Okay, so this is a reminder to me to tell you to get yourself some supplies. That calculator going to come in super duper handy. All right, so on page 13 and 14, there are some problems that I would like you to try. And in this situation, what I would like you to do is try them with your seat partner, okay? And if you get stuck, I want you to circle back to watch a second video that will show you how to do some of these problems. If you just want to check to see if you're right, then check Schoology for the answer key, all right? So you are now done with this first video, and then there is going to be a second video that you could watch if you get super stuck. But what you should mainly be doing right now is getting to know your classmates, working with somebody near you to help solve all of these problems. So that is all the way up to problem number 10. And keep in mind that this is a homework assignment. So doing this in class means you won't have any homework tonight. So it is to your advantage to get all of these done. All right. Thanks so much for listening. Have a good one, folks. Bye.